What up, guys? Second Reject here, and we're gonna do a Prank Kids profile. Why? Because I decided to make the deck again and do a little something different. The only thing is I'm missing like 2 cards, an extra one of him, and an extra spell. But still, really good fun deck. I decided to do something a little different than everybody else's because I think it's an interesting deck. Starting off with 3 Prank Kids Lampsies. When they get linked or fusion summoned into a Prank Kids, they pop their effects. He burns for 500, and then you can special summon another Prank Kid. That's all their effects do. They all do special summon another Prank Kid. That's not the name of the one, which is cool. Then we got Prank Kids Fansies, because 3 of him, because he's the full bearer of the deck. You can throw any Prank Kid card into the grave. I usually throw the trap because that's just what I do. But with the new deck thinking, I throw a few monsters in there sometimes. Then we got Prank Kids Dropsies. You gain 1,000 if it turns into a link or fusion into a Prank Kid monster. Gain 1,000 life points, not attack or anything. Prank Kids Roxy's 3 of him, because you get to banish a card when you link into a Prank Kid or fusion. Card I don't see many people run because, why not? Is that's all your Prank Kid main deck monsters. Is King of the Swamp. I run 3 of him just to get Polly, get a little faster. It's nice. It's also really good to bait negates, because you can't use his effect of making him a substitute for a Prank Kid card. And here's the little bit of difference that I haven't seen anybody do, and I figured I'd try it out, and I'm kind of liking it. 2 Danger Mothmen. Yeah, I'm running a little danger package in this deck, which is not terrible, but it's really good. They get special summon, you get to draw a card. What's better than drawing a card in this deck? He gets thrown in the grave, you get to draw a card and discard a card. So you can set up for better plays. Danger Nessie. The good old. Only at 1. The old Danger Tushinoko at 1, which hurts more than anything. Actually used the effect of just to send it to the grave to pop it out of the grave more than anything. Danger Jackalope. And, we all know what they all do, which is great. Small danger package, like I said, but it's a fun little tech I wanted to try out. Then you have 3 Prank Kids Place. If you fusion summon your opponent's Okay, you fusion summon your monsters gain 500 for Prank Kids. All Prank Kid monsters gain 500, which is nice. If you link summon, you make your opponent lose 500 attack on all their monsters, which is really good. 1 terraforming, because why not? 1 Monster Reborn. 1 Pot of Avarice. I wanted to get this to 2, which I just couldn't find the card. Then you have 2 Prank Kids Pranks. Discard 1 Prank Kid card, bank a token. If you have 3 Prank Kids in the grave, you can shuffle them in the deck and then draw a card, I do believe is the effect. Yep, draw 1 card. I know some cards are weird and say 2 cards. Then, since this is a fusion heavy deck, 3 polymerizations. I don't know why I said polymerization. Then Prank Kids Pandemonium. 3 of those, because more fusions, but you have to do it from the field, I do believe. Or is it from the hand as well? From your hand or field as fusion material, which is really good. And a card that I found does a lot of help. Thunder Dragon Fusion. And our boy Dropsies, I do believe, is the one. I don't want to say the wrong card. Our boy Dropsies pops the second effect of Thunder Dragon Fusion. So, what Thunder Dragon Fusion does is you can fusion summon one Thunder monster from your extra deck by shuffling the fusion materials listed on it into the deck from among your cards on the field, in your graveyard, and or face up on the banished cards. So you can make a lot of plays bouncing off this. During your main phase, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from your grave and add one Thunder monster from your deck to your hand, which Dropsies is a Thunder card, so Dropsies is our Thunder card, which is awesome. You know, get him in the hand. Or Beta Negate, one of the two. And then I'm running 2 Flash Fusions. It's kind of like Insta-Fusion, but instead of paying 1,000, I just get to fusion the turn. And usually I just tribute the card off and then pop its effect. I think it's a fun little tech. You could run it at 3 if you wanted, but I felt 2 was right. And then for our link cards, we got World Legacy Succession, 2 of them. You know, special summon to a link zone that the card points to. And then we only run 2 traps in the entire deck, and that is Prankid's Plan. I usually send this to the grave. I don't ever use the first effect, but when you send it to the grave and your opponent attacks into one of your cards, you can shuffle all your Prankid monsters, or is it everything Prankid? Prankid cards. Okay, so you can shuffle your entire deck into here and just play like that. And then your opponent's monster loses 100 attack for every Prankid card. Really good for a lot of decks, actually. Then I run 2 Prankid's Battle Butler. You can... That's what we're using our Thunder Dragon Fusion for. That's why I want to run 3 instead of 2, but I couldn't find my third copy. And he's the Raigeki of the deck, which is great. And if your opponent destroys him by card effect, you can target 1 non-fusion monster in your graveyard, special summon it. Also, you know, you can only use each of these effects 1 per turn. I don't know why I keep pulling away. My bad. Prankid's Rocket Ride. You know, it just takes 2 Prankid's cards. You can make it lose 1,000 attack and can attack directly. You can tribute it and add them to your hand. I'm always confused with this one and the other one. You can target 2 Prankid non-fusion monsters with different names in your graveyard, special summon them, but they cannot attack this turn. You know, really good to help with your link plays if, you know, you want to fusion it. You can use Flash Fusion, pop the effect of Flash Fusion to fuse off your cards just to make this, and then you got 4 cards on field, which is amazingly broken in my opinion. Then we got Prankid Weather Washer. We're running 2 of them, but I forget the effects. If your Prankid's monsters attack, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects until the end of the damage step. Basically, this is your Ancient Gear card of the deck, which is kind of cool. During your opponent's turn, quick effect, you can tribute this card, then target 2 Prankid non-fusion monsters with different names in your grave card, special summon, and they cannot be destroyed by battle this turn. I use the second effect a lot more than the first, but when I do use him to go in for kill, it's really good. Then we run 2 Prankid Rip-Roaring Roosters. You tribute him. He's a Harpy's Feather Duster. Really good for the deck. And all these cards, you know, when you... Most of them, I don't think he does it. And if this card is sent to the grave because your opponent's effect, you can add anything that's not a link card into your hand. Make sure it's just... Opponent controls, if this card is in your possession and sent to the graveyard by your opponent's card effect, you can target 1 card in your graveyard, except a link monster, and add it to your hand. You can only use this effect of Prankid's Roaring Rooster once per turn. Doesn't say anything about monsters or spells. So if you wanted Pot of Avarice back, you could add Pot of Avarice. That's kind of broken. Then we got 2 Print Kids Bow Wow Bark. Um, Print Kid monster this card points to gains 1,000 attack. During your opponent's turn, you can tribute this card and target 2 Print Kid cards, different names in your graveyard except link monsters, and add them to your hand. I knew there was one of them that was added to your hand. Then we have Print Kids Doo 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 Doodle Doo. I won't even say that right. I'm just gonna call him Doodle Doo. He gets you a Print Kid spell or trap when he's summoned, and then you can add a monster to 2 Print Kid monsters to your hand by tributing him. Yep, add them to your hand. And then the 3 cards that are not Print Kids in this deck, shockingly enough, is 1 Burlsword Dragon, 1 Appaloosa, and 1 Predaplant Verta Anaconda. I thought he'd be really good for, considering I can find my fusion cards with him, just paying 2,000 life points when I can get him back by getting Dropsies in the grave, or using Dropsy as a material. And that's just what I think about this deck. I figured the Danger package would be kind of fun, and since Appaloosa and Sword got reprinted, it's kind of nice because they're both I think he's back up to maybe $14, and this one's at $12 now. Or no, this one's the I can't remember the rarity, but the higher rarity. This one was the one that wasn't reprinted. But yeah, they're both cheap. I think it'd be really good for this deck because you can really get going, especially with Flash Fusion in the mix instead of Insta Fusion. And I just wanted to share this deck because I miss it. And playing some test hands, I had some really good test hands. And see you guys later.